Well, good morning, viewers. Today we have a 2012, I think it is, 11 or 12 Grand Vitara, and it's here for routine service. The customer dropped it off this morning, and I can't turn the ignition lock cylinder, but you notice the red security light blinking, the red key flashing there, and the remote wasn't responding. Now there is a little light flashing on it, you can see it, but the remote's not working. I tried changing the battery, and I confirmed that the remote is outputting a signal with a TPMS tool. I tried holding this next to the lock cylinder, and that doesn't work. And I don't know if there's a spot for this when the battery dies in here. I got the customer bringing me another key fob. This is not apparently the one that she uses all the time. But it worked to get it here, unless the other key fob was in close proximity to the vehicle when they started it this morning. And then I think once it's running, it'll continue to run. This little plastic insert comes off of here. And why did that just pop out? Oh, now it's blue. Let's see if it starts. I think I got the steering lock till. Oh my goodness sakes. So the steering was turned and it was against the steering lock, but oh brother. Oh well. Well, I tried to simulate the same problem again by putting the key fob in the garage so that there was no signal. And the indicator light went red, but it wasn't flashing red, indicating that it thought it was being stolen. So I'm wondering if a dead battery or a low battery in the fob was causing the problem. And once it was in the theft mode with the flashing key symbol red, then the transmitters wouldn't work. But I noticed the traction control light blinking. I don't know why. I disconnected the negative battery cable trying to reset the system. I cycled the door lock cylinder manually on and off 7 to 10 times, and that didn't work. It's just one of those mysteries. Like, normally there's a spot to put this if the battery goes dead, like a cubby compartment in the glove box or in the cup holder, or you hold the key fob next to the push button. But this is not a push button. This is like it's like a key, but now it was stuck in like that when I was trying to turn it. And that should be blue. When I push the button in, it turns blue, indicating that the key is present in the vehicle. Oh well. And then of course the steering wheel was turned, and that it was locked with tension on it because of the steering position, and it couldn't turn the key, so you have to wiggle the steering wheel back and forth. The battery sounds a bit weak in this thing, the way it cranks. Probably the original battery. Maybe we'll test the battery. Let's throw a scanner on it and see if there's any codes in it related to this flashing traction control light. So this is a new vehicle ID. I have never scanned this before. It is a 2011. So I've got a clean battery charger connected to it and set at 13.6 volts. Let's do a network code scan. Now remember, I did disconnect the negative battery cable attempting to reset. Torque converter shutter. That's interesting. How could that be a current code? It's in the transmission controller. C1075. I wonder if that'll cause the stability control system to be disabled. C1075, that doesn't sound like a a good code. Power supply, voltage, steering angle sensor, calibration, anti-lock brake. Well, that might cause stability control problems. Occupant. OCM, external faults recorded, CAN vehicle data invalid. Lost communication with keyless start module. That's interesting. Battery voltage too high. It's not too high right now. I got it set at 13.5. Airflow control actuator circuit malfunction. Well, we got a record of all of these codes. Let's clear them all and see if that gets rid of the flashing light. I've got no vehicle service records on this vehicle. It's pretty slow. Failed to clear the code in the ABS. Let's do a code scan again. Actually, I'm going to start it and see what happens. I'm going to shut it off and restart it and see if that stability light is blinking still. Yeah, it's still flashing. Okay, let's see if we have an active code in the ABS for steering angle sensor. Maybe got to do a steering angle sensor relearn after disconnecting the battery. Steering angle sensor calibration. If I recall, these vehicles were built on the same assembly line as the Equinox. Sunload sensor circuit malfunction. So I'm suspicious that this anti-lock brake problem with ESP. Display code. Let's try reading the codes in here one time. 1075. So let's see what the troublemaker chart. Doesn't have a troublemaker chart for it. I'll have to go into service literature. Let's see if we can go into sensor calibration. Applicable to vehicles equipped with ESP. Stop vehicle, set parking brake, remove foot from brake pedal, position steering wheel straight and turn ignition switch on with engine off. Ensure no current DTCs are set except 10, 75, 76, 77, and 70. So I'm going to make sure the steering wheel is straight. Yeah, it is. Continue. Sensor calibration successful. Display codes. Maybe I have to clear them, I'm not sure. No, I don't. So do you have to do that after disconnecting the battery? Let's have a look at the instrument cluster now. Well, no more flashing security light, or not security light, but no more flashing stability control light, ESP light. Well, did I generate that problem by disconnecting the battery, or was it a pre-existing condition? Who knows? So I've just done a service on this thing and ran it, but I'm curious as to whether I generated that steering angle sensor code. So I disconnected the battery again to simulate what I did. We're going to reconnect it. And see if that light is blinking again. So let's start it up. Well, that's pretty poor engineering. Have to relearn the steering angle sensor after a battery disconnect. That's pretty sad. Well, we'll do it again. Gotta put the battery charger back on it. So just for shits and giggles, I'm going to scan it again. 1075 is back. Steering angle calibration. Clear. Oh, I'm not going to try to clear codes. Sensor calibration. Steering wheel is centered. Got a clean battery charger on it, set at 13.6. Calibration successful. And display codes. Well, that's pretty dumb. So I did generate that by disconnecting the battery, trying to reset the keyless entry. I still don't know exactly what happened there. The customer dropped it off with that key fob, but it may have been weak. The battery may have been dead. I measured the battery I took out of it, and it was just under 3 volts, but that's no load on it. So I don't know if it was working, and I'm not going to put the old battery back in to try to duplicate the condition. Do one more code scan and we'll call this one fixed. Faux scan. I'm concerned about that transmission code that was in there, that TCC shutter code. They're not complaining about a problem with the air conditioning, but a problem, according to this, there's a problem with the sun load sensor or circuit. Let's see what we've got to do to reset the oil life monitor. That's in quick lookups, oil specs and resets, functional reset. Not available for this vehicle. Thank you, Snap-on. Well, that's it for now. I think we're going to be calling this one done.